Today we are exploring an agent-based model that simulates how households use water in urban settings. This model blends real consumption data with simulation to help us better understand and predict water demand. So, before the conversation, could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, greetings from Turkey and thanks for inviting me. I'm Kamil Ayba, an environmental engineer who works as an expert for General Directorate of Water Management of Turkey.
To start, what's the main purpose of this model? What specific aspects of household water use are you trying to capture, and how does the model account for daily behaviors and external influences like weather?
Yeah, sure. Actually, WaDemEsT stands for Water Demand Estimation Tool, and it's intended to simulate the water usage of a neighborhood, or DMA, we can say, district method area. And WaDemEsT model uncovers how urban households use water just by using household demographics, weather variables, and daily routines. WaDemEsT aims to explain water consumption data for a residential area using demographics, temperature, precipitation, and calendar variables. Household demographics especially act as a key factor influencing each individual's daily water use by either increasing or decreasing their consumption tendencies. For instance, driven by psychological and physiological effects, hot days not only prompt people to drink more water, but also lead to more frequent showering, changing their clothes, and more bathroom visits, we can say. In contrast, cooler days tend to stabilize consumption around an average level. Colder weather, however, can introduce nonlinear effects such as elderly individuals and young children staying indoors more, which increase household water use. Calendar variables also play a significant role. As we said, weekday routines like work or school differ from weekends or extended holidays such as festive periods, which can trigger more varying peaks in water demand. This shows that despite being modeled with just three core variables, water consumption might exhibit surprisingly complex and almost chaotic pattern. WaDemEsT model helps us simulate these intricate dynamics. Users can adjust household demographics through model's interface, while precipitation, temperature, monthly household numbers, and calendar variables are fed into the model via CSV files. This flexibility enables the creation of diverse scenarios as we require, supporting a wide range of policy analysis opportunities.
What were some of the biggest challenges in developing this model? For example, was it tricky to balance the complexity of daily routines with the need for general patterns across different households?
Yeah, I would like to first address the challenges of capturing the complex nature of processes within the water consumptions itself because it's really very complex domain to deal with. Agent-based models are powerful tools for simulating social phenomena, but their computational complexity can increase rapidly. And this is the main challenge for any kind of agent-based model. In this study, since I worked with monthly water consumption data, I faced an inherent aggregation effect because my model works on daily time periods and our original data is on monthly level so that an aggregation occurs and some of the effects I need to watch for are getting lost because of the aggregation. To preserve accuracy, I chose not to scale the simulation using parameters like population, household size, or settlement scale. This decision, however, led to significant increase on computational requirements. The model frequently stopped working or slowed down, requiring constant efforts to manage these issues. And another critical challenge, perhaps the most significant was that the consumption data was only available at a monthly level, as we already mentioned. And this limitation made it impossible to validate some of the temporal variations in the model's outputs, leading to deviations from some of the research objectives. However, these issues stem not from the model's design, but from the data constraints and the limitations of my study. The model remains fully adaptable, capable of being reprogrammed, and produce desired outputs. But and ultimately, another data-related hurdle was the lack of time series data on household demographics, which forced me to rely on some general assumptions like some data required, received from some estimations of any institution related to the subject. For instance, since population changes were only available annually, I had to interpolate them linearly to produce monthly population changes to fit the simulation. So one of the study's goal was to explore how temporal fluctuations in water consumption relate to population dynamics. And unfortunately, these data limitations restricted to conduct such an analysis. Still, I need to emphasize that these challenges reflect constraints in the availability of data, not the model itself.
What interesting patterns or behaviors emerged from the simulation? Did anything unexpected come up in how water use changed across different times of year or in response to lifestyle factors?
Well, actually, one of the core insights from the model's output is that water consumption can be simply modeled through temperature, precipitation, and household demographics. And if you include the performance of water using appliances and calendar variables, that gives you a very satisfactory level of predictions of what happened within a certain time period. And a key feature is that the transfer function used to assess how individuals' presence at home and the effects of temperature and precipitation influence water use. Although this function draws on a 1985 US study by Maitland and colleagues, it has proven effective in generating estimates for water consumption of the studied area in my PhD. Another significant finding is the high variability in water use at daily and weekly levels, which becomes evident in the simulation results, despite being obscured in monthly data due to aggregation effects. Similarly, variations in household demographics affect both variability of water consumption and the timing of peak demand periods. Additionally, the performance of water using appliances has a similar impact, shaping consumption patterns. And these insights generally enable us to create scenarios for planning measures to manage water use at both the settlement and household levels. Uh, so, WaDemEsT helps us understand the potential outcomes of these measures in light of the historical data. Ultimately, the model provides a platform to test the effectiveness of policy analysis tools designed to control urban water consumption at the household level, offering valuable guidance for sustainable water management, I guess.
This model is available on comsys.net and could be useful for researchers and planners. Any challenges in making it accessible using this platform?
To be honest, uploading the WaDemEsT model to ComSysNet posed no significant difficulties. I mean, I had no difficulties at all. However, when uploading it to the site, I realized that I hadn't given enough attention to the model's documentation initially. So as a result, I spent considerable time refining the ODD documents and adding detailed comments to every line of the code to ensure clarity.
So, what's next for this model? Are there plans to add more detail? I mean, like bring in real world data or apply it to new cities or policy scenarios?
Yeah, my ultimate, not so ultimate, but my primary goal is to validate the WaDemEsT model's outputs in another urban area, especially one outside Turkey. Mm, any country will be suitable because I want to understand how generalizable uh, results we are receiving from the model. I mean, this will demonstrate that the model can produce applicable outputs for policy analysis and prove its value to researchers. And additionally, I aim to develop more policy analysis scenarios, assessing their practical applicability and sharing the findings with the scientific community. And for further studies, I want to focus on simulations of nature-based solutions such as rainwater harvesting, and greywater recycling to explore their potential in reducing water demand. I'm also fully open to collaborating with researchers worldwide. I welcome to partnership to advance these efforts and enhance the model's impact.
Thank you very much for joining me and for this interesting conversation.
Thank you for this chance.